Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Get Paid to Be the Change. I am Jenny P, your host with my colleagues Dawn Grossart and Karen Baines. Wherever you're seeing this in cyberspace, this event, this 3-day event, is all about you not just manifesting your greatest life, but being amply paid for the great work that you do in the world, getting paid to be the change, being a change maker, having the wealth that you deserve, manifesting, creating, attracting, whatever you want to call it. That is what this 3-day event is all about. It's quite different. It's like nothing you've ever heard before. And the best place to see it is in the Preeminence Rising Facebook group. Preeminence Rising Facebook group. Preeminence is one of the most highly acclaimed female magazines in the world, holistic success blueprint. We have been called the magazine for the new earth, the Vogue of feminine high performance, and so many other wonderful things, which we're very, very proud of. We are doing something great in the world, and we are really happy to share our wisdom with you, especially around this topic of you being well paid as a change maker. Now, in episode 1, which you can still access, everybody can still access in our group, was all about you and priming you as a change maker with a message and a mission to convey your gifts to the world in a way that people understand you, that the right people understand you and want to work with you, that you attract your ideal soul clients, that it is natural, that it is not, it's not a head thing, that it's not a tactic, that you turn up in your gifts and you become magnetic to your tribe as you grow your beautiful movement. So that was you. Today, we are going to be talking about money and you. And I'm going to be introducing you to the awesome Karen Baines. And then tomorrow we are going to do the third and final part of this. Is always going to be about money. So we've got you, money, and money. Perfect trinity. So very, very quickly, my gorgeous Dawn and Karen, how was yesterday for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, honestly, yesterday was just, I think, the perfect opener, because the reflection on who we are and how we show up is really everything in connection to money. And just to say, to see the participation and to see the level of engagement and just the interest in what we're speaking about, just to me, just emphasizes that we are speaking into something that is really potent for now. And it's really needed right now that more and more women have the understanding and the awareness and also the skills and the tools to change their circumstances and to evolve their finances as well as themselves, to create something different for, the months, years to come, as we create life differently. We're definitely going through change on the planet. We all know that. And we're all here, I think, to collaborate, to grow together, to support each other, and to become wealthy together so that we can then go out there in the world to actually make a difference on the ground in a really meaningful way, not in isolation, but together as a community, just feeling like we're a sisterhood linking arms, gathering as a community to out there and actually affect change. So great start. I loved it yesterday.
Thank you.
I don't know how to follow that, really. I felt exactly the same. I totally agree with everything you said, obviously. And like you, I really noticed this, not just while we were actually doing the event live, but going into the comments, I went in straight afterwards, and just really being able to feel everybody and how it had landed and how it had impacted everybody as well. And that was so exciting for me, because I could almost tangibly feel these new levels of consciousness sort of opening up and really being ready to play at that higher level. And I think that was the first time I'd ever really experienced that in an online space. I think maybe I've experienced it in a physical, tangible space at a live event when all those energies are moving around the room. But on an online space, I think it's probably quite rare. And I think we got that yesterday. You did ask how we felt, and I want to add that I was absolutely wired. And then when I landed, it took me about 90 minutes, and then I was fried. So that's kind of where I was yesterday.
Well, we did a lot of connecting with the vibrations out there of our gorgeous group. So just for anybody listening, remember to put in the comments wherever you are, wherever you're seeing this, put hashtag live or hashtag replay, so that we can find you, to give you, if you stay for the three days, the 3 events, that we can give you those gorgeous prizes, which I posted in the Facebook group today, which include a fabulous package from Christine Sali, my Dream Life Manifestation Planner, one of my Walk to Wealth audios, and a surprise gift coming from Dawn on Friday, which I don't even know about. So I invited you yesterday to become, over this event, a money possibilitarian. That was the invitation, to become a money possibilitarian. Now, to preface Karen's episode today, which is going to last a little bit longer, because she is actually going to give you a masterclass based on her foundational principles. I can tell you, ladies, this alone is worth hundreds and hundreds of pounds or dollars or whatever, because Karen is one of the most exciting, fresh, original, and brilliant, and totally on point wealth coaches that there are in the market. So what I wanted to say in preface to that, ever so briefly, and I'm going to let her dive in, is that we have known, like sages and mystics have known for eons, that we are creators, that we are, and that actually we have always known that we are creators of the world of reality, of whatever our perception was of the time, and that that creation comes from a state of beingness before action, and before having and seeing and playing with it in the physical form. That whole concept is as old as time itself. It is the fiber of the universe. That is actually the way the universe was built. So we've known it for a long time. Modern science has caught up with that, and all of the amazing new thought leaders. Well, actually, not just new. I mean, this has been going on for many, many years, that thought leaders have caught up, and they know how to explain the phenomenon of how we interact with the world, and we create the reality that we want to live, including money. So, conscious creators, hold tight for the incredible class that Karen's going to deliver you. I'm just going to hand it right over to her, and I do say very, very quickly, make sure you have something to write with, and let's dive in.
Okie dokie, we are going to dive straight in, because I am going to try and keep to a 6:30 end UK. If we do need to go over, so be it. At least you guys can always come back and catch the replay. But I want to be mindful of everybody's time. But I can promise you that we will go over the hour, because I don't think I've ever delivered it any quicker than that. Right, so I'm going to take you through my 5 steps to extraordinary money alignment masterclass today. And as it says on the tin, there are 5 steps. The way I'm going to roll these steps out is I'm going to present the steps as it is, and I'm also going to teach you the energetics behind it. So even though there are going to be steps that you're familiar with because you've used them in manifesting processes many times before, probably, I think the big thing that is missing out there is people do these steps and they get results, but they don't actually know why. They don't understand what it is they're doing that is actually creating the manifestation. God, I really don't like that word. I'm so uncomfortable with it. Right. So without further ado, we're going to dive into step one. Jen, did we put the play sheet in the files section, just in case anybody wants it? Now, guys, you don't need the play sheet, so don't panic. As long as you've got a notebook and pen, but the play sheet is available for you to directly download in the files section. I think if you click on the files section at the top of the Facebook group, you can download it there. And the reason I say that is because I tell all my clients it is a really good idea that if you're ever feeling a bit stuck, if you're ever feeling a bit overwhelmed, if you're ever confused about what your next steps are, you can go back over this play sheet, no matter where you are in your journey, 10 years from now, and it will give you bang up to the minute information that you can take action on. Okay. And I encourage all my clients to have it in their toolbox, as it were, and bring it out at least a couple of times a year. Okay. So for those of you that have done this with me before, welcome back, and let's enjoy a revisit. There's usually something new that will show itself to you. So come at this with an open mind. I'm going to take my bracelet off because it's driving me mad. First step, pay a bill. I call this step pay a bill. Now, it could very well be, my lovelies, that the step for you is that you are going to pay a bill. Or maybe you've got a few bills that you're going to pay. That could be your doings for this step. But really, this step is about taking responsibility for your money again. Anywhere you've been putting things off with your money. Now, this is so important because we ignore what we don't want around. We ignore what we don't want in our lives. If you're leaving things undone with money, if you're not dealing with anything to do with your finances, you are broadcasting that you don't want it around. You're not dealing with it. You don't want to deal with it. You've got your head in the sand, or you're putting it off to later. We ignore what we don't want in our lives. And the universe says yes. It says everything, says yes to every single thing that we do. And it's going to say yes to you. And if you don't want to deal with your money, there'll be no money around for you to deal with. If you ignore money, it's because you don't want it in your life. So the very first step is identifying where you're ignoring your money. Now, I have never, and I include myself in this, I have never come across anybody, and I have delivered this masterclass. I've lost count of the amount of times I've delivered this, and I've never come across anybody yet who isn't ignoring their money somewhere at any point. And as I say, I'm included. So first of all, let's see if we can identify some of the ways you might be ignoring your money. There are some common ones. The first few could be paying bills. Like literally you leave, there's a certain bill or a couple of bills, you haven't got a direct debit or a standing order set up, and it just gets left to the bottom of the list every month. Or you've got a tax bill is very common. Like you leave that to the last possible minute to pay. You're like hanging on to the money. It's like, oh, if I pay, like if I just leave it, then at least it will be there if I need it for something more important. So that's the kind of energy that we're talking about here when it comes to leaving bills unpaid. Okay, so that's the first way, very common. Another common way, not checking your bank accounts consistently, regularly. As a business owner, you need to be on top of your finances, particularly your business finances, but you can't compartmentalize energy. So even if you are all over your business accounts and you don't really know what's going on with your personals, the universe doesn't recognize the difference. You're ignoring it in one area, even though you're taking care of it in another, and one will cancel the other out. So make sure that you know what's going on with your bank accounts. Okay, so that's another common area. As I mentioned, taxes, bookkeeping, leaving our self-assessments to the last minute. putting off speaking to financial advisors, accountants, getting a bookkeeper. What else? Dealing with switching contracts for mobile phones, internet providers, energy suppliers. So being aware that, oh, my contract is up for my mobile phone, I will go and research who's got a better deal going on or whatever when I get a minute, and not doing it and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Speaking to somebody about a retirement plan, having conversations with people that owe you money or that you owe money to. A big energetic bang for your buck can be gotten right there, because nobody likes chasing money that they're owed. And often we really do put off the conversations with people if we owe money. So that's another area that's quite common. Not actually chase it, like doing your credit control, not actually like sending your invoices out regularly, consistently, not tracking who's paid you in your business. So as I've been talking, what usually happens is you get your own download. So whatever that is, write it down. Hopefully you'll have 2 or 3 things that when we're done today, you can start getting that, you can start moving that needle, as I call it, moving that needle of alignment and taking back responsibility for your money. Because money, as I'll explain in a little bit more detail a bit further on, it vibrates at a frequency naturally of responsibility and power. So you need to empower yourself, step back into your power by taking responsibility for your finances. And anywhere you're ignoring your money, particularly if you're a business owner, you're being pretty irresponsible. And that's not a judgment, it's a fact. You are in business to make money. That is why you are wired the way you're wired. You need to be on top of your finances. And if you're not, you're missing a big trick when it comes to aligning yourself to be open to receive more. Okay, so I don't know if any, I have got some responses here. Oh, look at Helen, she's all over a tax return. So that's great, congratulations. I can't actually see anybody else's name. I don't know why Helen's is actually showing up. So do feel free to share, if you feel comfortable doing so, the bill that you're going to pay. Hold yourself accountable. Reach out and get support. Money and support, they vibrate very closely on that vibrational spectrum. Just throwing that in as a freebie. And yeah, this is where you're going to get a big bang for your buck. It's the one step that I always take clients back to. If they're sort of not sure what's going on, they're a bit confused, they've got a lack of clarity, go back to step 1, back to the basics of financial alignment. Where are you ignoring your money? Where are you waiting to do something? Where are you saying you're committed, but you haven't actually pulled the trigger? Okay, so the reason why people get such a big bang for their buck, as I call it, with this step, is because oftentimes they don't realize the energetics behind not dealing with their finances, which is why they're not dealing with this stuff. And then when you actually do it, because you've been putting it off for so long, it's like you pop the cork on the bottle, as it were, and you just have this huge shift, and the universe says, yes, 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 yes. I am not kidding you. This is a true story. I'm not even going to share the one that I had a couple of days ago. This is a true story. I shared this step with a good friend of mine, like a sort of a colleague, and he'd never sort of heard about it in this way. And he said, you know what? It's so funny you say that, because I think I said to him, if you're not doing this, you're leaving money on the table. And he said, it's so funny because I've got a pile of paperwork sitting right there over on the table, which has been piling up of things that I've been leaving and not doing and putting off. So I was like, right, get it done. Just get it done. You can do it. There's nothing stopping you. The only thing getting in your way is you. You've got complete control over this. Get on with it. So anyway, we got on a call the following week, and he was involved in quite a big joint venture thing that was happening with some of the really top names in our industry, like Christian Michelson and Eben Pagan and all those guys. And they have like a leaderboard system. And he got on this call with me and he said, I can't believe what happened. He said, I was looking at where I was on the leaderboard and I was thinking, you know, I'm never going to beat those guys, but I would like to be up on the first page. He said, I'd done everything I could do. He said, and I looked over and I saw that pile of paperwork and I was like, oh, I've got nothing to lose. Karen said, get it done. So I got it done. This is no joke. Within 3 days, he'd created £27,000 worth of sales that came through unexpectedly, and he got to number 8 on that leaderboard because the universe just said yes. And it said yes seemingly like literally within like 24, 48 hours. So big bang for your buck, lovelies. Now, some of you might be sitting there and saying to yourselves, well, I have got all this going on, actually. There isn't anything there that you mentioned and nothing downloaded. So I'm good. I'm golden. There is one bill that I would encourage you to make sure that you take care of. That's probably the most important bill of all. And that is the bill that you have to pay to yourself. There is nobody more important in your business or your life than you. Make sure when we're heart-centered entrepreneurs, we often pay everybody else first. It is crucial that you put yourself at the top of the to-do list. If you've got an income coming in, you must make sure that you can start very small, anywhere between 1% and 5% of your income to begin with. You create a little money pot. You call it your target energy, if that feels good, and we'll get to that in step 4, I think. But you call it whatever you want, and then you move that money, that income, consistently over between 1% and 5% if you've never done this before. If you are a seasoned conscious creator, you will have created that money pot already. And then I would encourage you to make sure that you are looking at that and increasing that by 2 or 3% every 3 months. Okay? That's the basic. That is the very basic thing that you need to be taking care of. And it matters. It matters what order you physically do that in. Like when I call them like my money pot allocations, if you like. I do my money pots on 2 days of the month, the 11th and the 22nd, go figure. And I work it all out on paper first, and then I go into my bank account and I move my money first. Always my money first. Before I pay anybody else, before I take care of anybody else, I take care of me. Because when you're assigning value to yourself, you're saying, I value me. And when you value me, the universe says yes, and you will be valued. If you put yourself to the bottom of the list, if you don't deal with that, if you don't value your gifts by rewarding yourself with your money that you are creating, then the universe will react and respond in exactly the same way. It will say yes to what you're doing. If you devalue yourself in that way, you will be devalued. Okay? So, the sovereignty. God, I love that word. I don't know who said that, but thank you. I do love that word. So that is step 1. Hopefully, you've all got some clues as to what you're going to do. Okay? So how long did that take me? Right, moving swiftly on. You okay, girls? Dawn and Jenny? Are we good? Yes. Yes. Right, okay. Step 2. Right, set your intention. Everybody knows about goal setting. Anybody in the conscious creation space knows that it's important to set intentions and set goals. Even people that aren't really up to speed on the kind of world that we live in. Everybody tends to think about what they want to create at the beginning of the year by the end of the year. It's just like, I think human beings are naturally wired to do that. So it's a very common thing that we do. I encourage my clients to have these intentions sort of like very close in terms of time frame, and we'll talk a bit more about that shortly. But regarding the energetics of this, it's really very simple. You need to know what you want to create. You need to know what your intention is, because if you don't know, the universe doesn't know. If you don't know what you want to create, then you don't know the energy underneath what you're going to create. And if you don't know the energy underneath what you want to create, you're not going to be able to make the congruent choices that will have you become a vibrational match for what you want to create. And then you're going to be choosing haphazard, random, all over the place, all these different energies. And the universe can only respond in a haphazard, random way. So nothing ever gets really grounded. Everything's kind of cloudy and confusing. It's a bit like if you were going on a trip and you were going to get in an aeroplane, you would want to know where you were going before you got in the plane, and you would expect the pilot to know where you were going as well, so that he can log all that into his GPS system and course correct where necessary. Well, that's the universe. So you're the person that's going on the trip and you know where you're going. The universe is like the pilot. So he knows where you're going, and he also knows how to keep you on track. But if you don't know, how the heck is he going to know? All right. So that is why intention setting is so important. Now, when it comes to our intention setting process, lovelies, in step 2, we're going to start with a 3-month time frame. It requires 3 to 5 months to ground in a vibrational shift. Now, a vibrational shift for a business owner, a conscious creator, is essentially a new income level. A vibrational shift is represented by a new income level, and it requires 3 to 5 months of realignment, of alignment, of new energetically aligned choices consistently over that period of time to really call it in and ground it, so that you normalize it, so that it's sustainable. When you normalize something, it's sustainable. Okay, so 3 months is a great place to start, because of that minimum of 3 months to ground something in. Also, because it's not so far out. So like, you've probably got year-long goals, 3-year goals, 5-year goals, which are all fabulous. They kind of, again, they keep us on track. But your soul is a bit like an impatient teenager. Instant gratification is what it wants. It requires something new and something exciting, something fun to be happening within 3 months, or it starts getting really bored and it doesn't want to come out of its bedroom. It kind of does that. So in order to keep our soul engaged, because it's our soul that motivates us to do what's required, to step out on that outside edge of the comfort zone, in order for our soul to be motivated enough to get us out of bed in the morning to do what is required of us, it needs to know that something's going to happen pretty darn quick. So 3 months is the time frame so that our soul can engage. But it's also not so close that our other good friend, the ego, can't get involved either and start telling us we haven't got time to create what we want. So the ego stays quiet because we've got time. Well, it won't stay quiet. It will show up, don't worry, but it won't show up about the time frame. It's not so far out that the soul will get restless and bored and switch off, and it's a minimum of 3 months. That's why we choose 3 months. So if we're in May now, let's say we're midway through May, June, July, so this is going to take us partway through August, partway through summer, maybe when some of you are on holidays. or whatever. It's good to kind of have that, find a spot in that time frame that you can sort of visualize and imagine happening, like a birthday or a party that's happening, or a trip that you're going on, to sort of anchor it in. It's nice to have that for step 4. Okay, you don't have to, but it is nice to have that. Now, the next part of step 2 is the financial side of the intention. So this is where I'm going to need some interaction, lovelies. We're going to start with the first number, which is how much money do you intend to make by the middle of August? Now, for the purposes of our time today, I would encourage you to focus on an extra amount of income that you're not expecting. So you probably know what your forecast is. You probably know what you're expecting to make. You might even be looking to ground in a consistent income. But for the purposes of this exercise, I would encourage you to pick a number that you want to make, an amount of money that you want to make. It's going to be on the outside edge of the comfort zone, but it's still going to feel doable. So that's kind of where I want you to go with this. All right. So come up with that number for me first. And I would love it if I could get a couple of numbers in the chat. There's no right or wrong. There's no judgment here. It is all about where you are at. That's the beauty of what we're doing today. It meets you exactly where you're at. Okay. So how are we doing? My soul is like a teenager. 15K, here we go. And we're rocking and rolling. Okay. Now I've got no names for these numbers, just saying. I would go with a total, Helen. So a total amount that you want to make between now and the middle of August. 25, an extra 3. Great. Yep. Cool. Let's have one more. Can I have one more? Anyone? Any takers? How about either of you? Putting you on the spot. Dawn, Jen, anything? Oh, there we go. An extra 4. Oh, right, an extra 4. Okay, an extra 4. And I've got 5. Okay, cool. Right. So that's where you're going to start. Now I want you to stretch a little bit. So what would be better? What would be better than that original number? So start giving me some better numbers. Stretch a little bit for me. And I will explain to you why we're using these 3 numbers and why the energetics behind them are so important in a minute. Right, I'm not getting any betters, I don't think. Oh, no, here we go. Got one. Thank you, Helen. 25, fabulous. Couple more. 4.5. Good, good. One more. Going. Oh, 15 to 25. Great. Now we're talking. Right. Finally, what would be phenomenal? So you're knocking it out the park. What would be phenomenal? Go. What you got, Helen? Julie? Julie's name is showing as well. I'm wondering if they show up. Oh, 100,000. Look at that one. I'm in. 30 grand. 50s. There we go. Now we're talking. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering, just saying this out loud, I'm wondering if we get the names showing up in the chat, if we're actually directly connected to the people on Facebook. Is that probably why? So this shows me how many people that I'm not connected to. That needs to change. Right. So there are reasons why we've gone with these 3 numbers. So stay with me here. At any given time, we're all a vibrational match for a fairly specific range of income. It's a range. It's not a specific amount. It is a range of income that has a lower end, a lack end, if you like, and an abundance end. And we operate within that frequency, within that range. It's where we spend most of our time energetically that converts into that money. Now, obviously, that can be up leveled, otherwise we'd never make any more money. We'd always stay the same. And a lot of people do, right? Not us. We're conscious creators, and we have the ability to shift our vibration and vibrate at a higher frequency. So if you focus on the lack end, the lower number, there's something called your financial bandwidth. Now, this isn't the container to talk about that, but just trust me. Your financial bandwidth kicks in, and if you focus on the low end, you'll likely make closer to the middle number. So don't worry about the middle number. Don't worry about the phenomenal number. Focus on the lack end and creating that amount, the lowest number, and you'll likely make more because of this thing called the financial bandwidth that kicks in as you're doing your alignment. So that's why we've got those two numbers. Now, the phenomenal number, you may well make that amount of money. You know, we can have, do, or create anything we want. You could totally knock it out of the park and make your 100 grand, 35 grand, 50 grand, fill in the blank. Absolutely, you could. But it would require extraordinary effort on your part. You would need to be vibrating at a really high frequency that isn't yet available for you sustainably. It's not yet who you are, it's who you're becoming, right? So yes, you could knock it out the park, but then you'd likely need to step back. You'd likely kind of bottom out the next month. And that's what happens with feast and famine. It's the inconsistency, it's the overstretch, and that creates the vibration that you make more money, and then you have to and it drops out. So you're better off focusing on the low end, where you're going to create likely nearer the middle, doing that consistently over the 3 to 5 months, grounding it in as normal, and then moving it all again in the next 3 to 5 months. Make sense? Yeah? Cool. It's really odd not having actual people answering me. So that is why. The other thing about it as well is, I think we touched on it when we talked yesterday. I think it was Dawn that was saying how when, like, most people don't think about these amazing amounts of money that they could make because they're scared to. Or my clients, they'll often come to me and they've never even considered making that phenomenal amount because they're terrified that how disappointed they'll be if it doesn't happen. But the thing is, if you don't engage with it, it won't happen. You have to engage with it. You have to play with it. You have to bring it out and mold it and love it and nurture it and engage with the experience that it's going to give you when you've created it. And if you don't do that, it's not going to happen. Okay, so that's why we've got the phenomenal, so that we can stretch you a little bit energetically. So that's your step 2, lovelies. You should have a time frame. We're going the middle of August, and 3 numbers: low, better, phenomenal. Yes. Great. So money loves a home. One of the most important steps in the creational process, and often the one that goes amiss. So many people create their intentions, get busy figuring out how they're going to make it happen, and they're not even aware, or they don't even bother to spend the money. So this is what you're going to do. And again, I'm going to need some interaction here. So first, let me explain the energetics behind it while you start to think about what you're going to spend your money on. Now, for the purposes of step 3, again, I want you to go with your original number. So the number that you want to make that is on the outside edge of your comfort zone, but doable. That's the number we're going to focus on. You may or may not have time to spend all of it. If you don't have time to spend all of it, I encourage you to go back and do the exercise and spend all of it when we're done. It is really, really important. All right. And this is why. Money vibrates naturally at a frequency of responsibility and power before you spend it. When you spend it, you realign it. You realign the energy of it. Okay? It represents value. It was designed by human beings so that we could spend it on that which we value, which is why it's important when it comes to our boundaries and our self-worth. But in terms of creation, money is creational energy. It is creational energy that is manifested at a physical level. And the reason why it's creational is because you're all humans. As Jenny said at the top of the call, you're designed to create. That is what you are here for. You are designed to create. Okay? You create through the process of choice and consequence. That is the conscious creator way. That is what the conscious creator understands. So break that down. You make a choice. The choice has a frequency. The choice is a doing, by the way. It's not a decision that you make in the head and then don't go and do anything about. The choice happens at the physical level. It's a third dimensional, practical thing that you do. It vibrates at a frequency that is the language of the universe. So the universe reads the frequency and says yes. It says yes because we're governed by universal law, one of which is the law of attraction. The law of attraction states that like attracts like. I say the universe says yes. So you make a choice, it has a frequency, a vibration. The universe reads the frequency and says, yes, here you go, have some more of that. And drops in a consequence that has an energy that matches the original energy underneath the original choice. Does that make sense? Are you keeping up with me here? This is important because we are designed to create, to manifest through that process of choice and consequence. When you've got money, you've got more choices. The more money you have, the more choices you have. It is creational energy. And as such, it needs to know what it's going to create. Otherwise, it's not going to bother turning up. Okay? And whatever it is that it's going to create for you, it better blow your socks off in a good way. We want it to be something that is going to really light you up. All right? Now, there is one thing that I'm going to say right now, and again, this isn't the container to go into detail, but the one thing you are not going to spend any of this money on is debt. Debt vibrates naturally at a frequency of obligation, and anyone that's hung around with me long enough knows what I think about that. So if anybody wants to have that conversation with me, wants to know more about that, needs some support around that from an energetic standpoint, then just reach out. I'm happy to have the conversation. But so many people, I take them through this process for the first time and I say, right, what are you going to spend the money on? They say, I'm going to pay my credit card off. No, you're not. It's like karmic suicide. There is an energetically aligned way to deal with debt, and you should never be using debt as a financial intention. Your soul cannot get behind that. It just can't, because you're not creating anything new. You're paying for something that you've already had, usually, and your soul's not interested in previous experiences. It wants new ones. Okay? So you're going to spend your money on something that you're going to absolutely love, or multiple things that you're going to love. again, bear in mind the time frame. Okay, so if you want to go, if you're going on holiday, then great. Put some of the money towards the holiday, but don't say, right, I'm going to put all the money towards a holiday I'm going to have in December. It's too far out. We need to bring it in. Remember that teenage soul that you have wants to play now. Okay, so what can we spend this money on? Very common things that my clients come up with. There are a few very, very common ones. Usually travel. So many. I hardly ever speak to anybody that's like me and doesn't want to go anywhere. Most people want to travel. They want a holiday. Home renovations. So maybe you want to do something at home, a new kitchen or decorating a room. Technology, buying yourself a new laptop. What else? New wardrobe, clothes, a gorgeous handbag or shoes that you wouldn't normally indulge in. Like really sort of tune into the kinds of things that you would normally not even dare think about. Kind of go there.
Karen,
yeah.
There's a really good question that somebody's asked in the chat at the bottom.
Okay, that's it. I can read it. Yeah. I totally understand this money, energy, and spending on what we love, but I am a little confused. What if we need money to take care of the bills and we're neglecting in step one? That's why I'm working on an extra amount of money, because I'm assuming that you've got what I call the responsibilities taken care of. If you don't, then what you need to do is focus on that amount, but be aware that your responsibilities need to be taken care of first. So hopefully you'll know what your responsibilities add up to. If you don't, that's somewhere you're ignoring your money, so you can get a big bang for your buck by working that out. Find out what that number is and deduct it from your original number. And if you're not left with a lot, then go to the next number. I really, for the purposes of this exercise, I really want you to feel a little bit of freedom. I really want you to allow yourself to play. So if you discover that you're going to make that money and then it's going to be eaten up by your responsibilities, I want you to move to the next number, the better number, so that you can play. Okay, does that answer? Did I answer that? Do you think? Money vibrates at a frequency of responsibility and power. So responsibilities first. Okay. Responsibilities are the things that you are required to spend your money on as a human being to keep your physical body in optimal condition, so that you can show up and add value to the lives of other people through your gifts. Your physical body is the vehicle for your soul, and it's how you show up and add value to the lives of other people through your gifts. If you're sick, you can't do that. So when it comes to the responsibility part of that equation, it's all the things that your physical body needs to be in tip-top condition. Your basic needs, essentially, as a roof over your head, food, heat, light, water, and the basic responsibilities for your business so that you can show up for your clients. Often some sort of device so that you can communicate, maybe an internet connection, and Zoom usually is the minimum that you're going to need so that you can show up and actually add value. All right. What if the laptop is for work though? Helen, I don't understand the question, love. I'm missing something. You might need to expand on that a bit for me. So what have we got here? I need you to put some things in the chat that you're going to spend your money on. It's vital for the next step. We can't move forward without it.
Just while we're waiting for that to happen in the chat, just perhaps an interpretation on Helen's point is if there is a desire for a really fancy, lovely, upgraded laptop, because it'd be great to have a lovely new laptop, but it's not for play, it's for work. Maybe that's kind of like the point at which there's an intersection between.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because your work is, well, hopefully your work is your play as well. It's how you add value. I know Helen quite well, and I know what she's doing in the world. So, you know, you're going to have that laptop, and it is going to be how you add value, and you're still going to probably use it for personal things anyway. So absolutely, like that's fine. All right, what have we got here? Stylist and photographer. Perfect. Right, Ellen's getting right into the spirit of things. This is what I'm after. So we've got a photo shoot, a dinner. Excellent. Helen wants a laptop. Good job. A new car. Travel to book festivals. Okay. Give me some more. I need some more. I need some more. Train trip to Europe. Here we go. Right, Europe. Green Farm Fest. Take my daughter to Paris. So we've got more trips. An image assist stylist, an image consultant. Oh, we've got lots of tech going on here. Photo shoot, car repairs. Trinity Code film. There we go. Jenny's in. Oh, new kitchen floor, landscaping. Yep. Right, now we're talking. Oh, Barcelona. Spoil the grandchildren. That's nice. New kitchen. Yeah, I'm getting one of those. Oh, Fran's moving into her own place. All right, then. So hopefully you've all got a few things. You might not have spent all of your money yet. As I said, I encourage you to do so. I want you to spend every penny. Okay? What I'm going to do next is take you through a process, and this, lovelies, enjoy, because it's about as woo as I get. I'm going to take you through a process so that you can connect with this new reality that you're going to create. Okay, big money to have a place for my classes. Okay, right, so what I want you to do, once you've got at least 2 or 3 things, I want you to put your pens down. I want you to get comfy in your seat. Turn off your distractions. You might want to stretch it out a little bit and just kind of release all the dirt and grit of the journey. You know, anything that might have come up before the call today, any anxieties, anything that might have come up as a result of step 1, that can bring a little bit of yuckiness to the surface sometimes. Just let go all of that. And then I want you to put your palms upwards loosely, just in your lap, loosely in your lap for me. Okay. Get comfy in your seats, loves. And then I want you to take a minute, just close your eyes. Okay. I'm going to take you through a brief breathing exercise just to get you grounded and centered. Okay, so breathe in for me to the count of 3, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just drop your energy now, my loves, into your heart space. Just connect with your heart, releasing any concerns, any fears, the past or the future. dropping down into this now perfect moment in time. Take your energy slightly lower now for me, just over to the left. And you're connecting with the deepest part of you. This is the highest vibrational part of you. The part of you that knows the answer to every conceivable question you may ever need to ask. It's the infinite part of you. The part of you that is always connected. The part of you that wants to experience itself through you and your gifts in this lifetime. It is the generator and the creator of your reality. And I just want you to acknowledge just for a moment how powerful you really are. Okay, now I want you to take yourselves out on your timeline. So take yourselves out into your future timeline, hitting around mid-August. Imagine yourself a day in the life. So wherever you're at on that beautiful sunny August day, maybe you're packing, thinking about packing to go on your trip. Perhaps you're looking forward to the decorators or the builders coming round to finish off your gorgeous new room, or whatever it is you're doing in your home. Maybe you're leaping out of bed so that you can go and put on all your gorgeous new clothes and get ready to go on your photo shoot. Maybe you're going down to the kitchen place to pick out your brand new kitchen, or maybe you're spending a gorgeous weekend with your grandchildren. Whatever it is you're doing, I want you to lean into it. Lean into it as if it's already done. I want you to add in all of the things that you listed, as many of them as you can. I want you to imagine that they've already happened. And I want you to cast your mind back over the 3 months of how pretty effortless it actually was to create that money. You got on that call, you wrote it down, you moved the needle of alignment, and then the universe said yes, and in dropped that money. In came those clients, and what amazing clients they are. Just reflect on those wonderful people that you're serving. Probably how grateful you are to be able to do what you do in the world. And the most fabulous thing about all this is you know exactly how you did it. It wasn't magic, wasn't random. You tracked every single thing, and you know that you can do it all again. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. You've got so much to give to the world, and you've got so much that you can receive. And it really does feel like this is it. This is what you were born for. This is what you were designed for. And this is just the start. Just lean into that for me. And if you had to describe in just one word exactly how you feel right now in this very moment, this perfect moment that you've created when you've got all your ducks in a row and everything is just grand. One word that would describe exactly how you feel right now, what would that word be? And I want you to be as specific as possible. So if you've got 2 or 3 words showing up, hone in on that one word that best describes it. There's no right or wrong. Just find that word. And then once you've found that word, I want you to hold on to it. I want you to hold on to that energy and start letting all the images fall away. Hold on to the energy for me, but let the images fall away. And then I want you to find that energy in your physical body. So somewhere in your physical body is the very essence of that energy. It could be in your heart. It could be down in your sacral chakra, in your stomach. Doesn't matter where it is, but somewhere is the essence of this energy. And I want you to find it. And I want you to let it expand and fill your body. Okay, so it's filling your body now, getting bigger and bigger. So if it's a light, make it brighter. If it's a sound, make it louder, make it sweeter. If it's a colour, make it more saturated. Filling your body, expanding now, out from the confines of your physical body into the room that you're in. Going through the walls of the room that you're in, the building you're in, way, way out now into the streets, the town around you, spreading through the community, going up as well. So up into the sky, the clouds, bigger and bigger and bigger now. We're crossing the oceans, the continents, the countries, up and out, bigger and bigger and bigger this energy is. And it's so big now that it's taking you past the solar system and way, way out into the universe. Way, way out now. And I want you to turn back and look at a beautiful blue planet. And I want you to send this energy back. There is so much of this energy. There's more than enough of this energy to go around. And I want you to send it right back to our beautiful blue planet. I want you to see it connecting and saturating with all your friends, your loved ones, clients, teachers, mentors, colleagues, everyone in preeminence, everyone on the call, every single person on the planet, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the mineral world. It's all energy and we're all connected. And I want you to send that energy back and feel how good it is to share that, knowing that there's more than enough to go around. Feel how good that feels. Familiarize yourself with this energy. It's part of you. It is you. And you are everything. And everything is you. It's like coming home. And that's what we're going to do now, lovelies. We're going to come home. So bringing that energy with you. I want you to come back through the universe, back through the solar system, back through the clouds, the sky, back through the roof of the building you're in, back through the ceiling, back through the crown chakra at the top of your head, bringing the energy down and really grounding yourself, feeling your feet on the ground, roots growing down into Mother Earth, pulling Mother Earth energy back up again, up through the roots, up through your legs, back into your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your bum in your seat and just really ground yourself back in, bringing that energy with you. And when you're ready, I want you to open your eyes. I want you to grab a pen and I want you to write that energy down. What was the name of your energy? That is your target energy. And that is the energy that you're going to be working with for the next 3 to 5 months. And I'm going to explain exactly why in a minute. And I can see I've already got some coming through, which is what I want. If you could pop some of these target energies into the chat. Oh, look at that. There we go. Blissful. Oh, nice. Connection. Excited. What else we got? Give me a couple more. Oh, bliss is big on the leaderboard today. Enrichment. Now, that's a good one. I don't think I've had that one before. Oh, Helen. Look at you. Vibrational. Ah, that comes from Fran. I get that. I understand that one from Fran. Fran's probably the only person that would have had that. Sharing. Okay, brilliant. So hopefully you've all located and found your target energies. As I said, there's no right or wrong. Energy is purely subjective. Now, why is this so important? Do you remember that I already mentioned that human beings are designed to create, and we create through the process of choice and consequence? Yeah, we make a choice. The choice has a frequency, an energy. The universe reads the frequency, says yes, and drops in a consequence that matches the original choice, the frequency of the original choice. That being true, it makes sense that essentially right now in this moment, you're living in the past. You are living the consequences of every choice that you've made right up until now. You're welcome who's signing off. Do come back and catch the end. So the good thing about this is that you can start making new choices that are energetically aligned to actually what you want to create from this very moment onwards. And the universe will start saying yes to that. But the reason why your target energy is so important is it's a consequence. It's a consequence that you want to create, right? Everything in your life that you have at the moment, everything in your life, in your business, the money in your bank account, the roof over your head, any of the relationships you've got, the argument you had with your partner 2 days ago, the cuddle that you had yesterday, all of these things are consequences of choices you've made, right? If you want to create that money, we needed to identify the experience that you're going to have once you've created the money. It's not about the money, it's about the experience that you're going to have once you've exchanged that money for that which you value. That which you value being the things on those lists, right? They're your consequences. In order for you to become a vibrational match for those consequences, for that money to happen, you need to start choosing that energy now. The energy underneath your future consequence needs to be chosen now, and again and again and again and again and again, and as many times as you possibly can between now and 3 months' time. Because every time you choose that frequency, you're vibrating at the frequency of the consequence that you want, that money that you want in 3 months. The universe says yes and brings you more opportunities to choose that energy again and again and again. And it's by doing that that your vibration shifts, goes up and up and up and up and up and up, so that you're vibrating at the frequency where you are a match for the income of whatever it is to drop into the bank account. Does that make sense to everybody? If you want to experience the energy of bliss, enrichment, sharing, being excited because you've created that money and spent that money on those experiences and those things that you want, you must choose bliss now. You must choose enrichment now. You must choose sharing now. You must choose now, so that you become a vibrational match for it over and over and over again. And then over the next 2 or 3 months, you embody it. You literally vibrate at that frequency. And then the universe will bring in the money as a result of that, because you're vibrating at a frequency that will convert into money. Remember, money is a happy byproduct of alignment. When you're vibrating at those high frequencies, you're in alignment. And money is just a byproduct of that. Money just happens because that's where you're vibrating. It's the last tangible piece of evidence that drops in. Now, if you're doing alignment every day, if it's your way of being, then that's how the money drops in over and over and over and over again. Not just the money, the abundance in whatever way you want. It will just keep showing up over and over again, because you're getting the consequences dropping in of all your aligned choices. But when you're starting out, it can feel like you've got a bit of a bridge that you need to get across before you kind of get that first evidence. And that's where your evidence diaries really come in handy, lovelies. And they're going to be getting the evidence diary, my evidence diary, aren't they? They can get that. So this is a great way that you can track as you make your new choices. That's why I decided to gift you the evidence diary so that you can do this exercise, and then over the next 30 days you can master your creational process by making new choices that are energetically aligned to what you want, and then the universe says yes, and you can do it again and again and again and again, multiple times a day. And then in start coming the clients, the money, the opportunities, whatever, fill in the blank. So that is why that target energy process is so important. I encourage you, if you get to a point at any time where you're confused or lacking clarity on what's next, often it's your soul's way of telling you that your target energy has changed. You've embodied the vibration from 3-4 months ago, and now things have changed. So it's an important signal that your soul is sending you. Stay on top of your target energy, and you stay on top of your creational process. Okay? So, finally, how are we doing for time? We're on step 5 now. The universe reacts. It reacts to what you do. It doesn't react to your thinking. It reacts to what you do. You are a human being. You have chosen to be a human being in this lifetime. You have a physical body. You live in the 3rd dimension. You may engage frequently with the 5th, and obviously our thoughts, they live in the 4th dimension, and they're the bridge between the 3rd dimension and the 5th dimension, where all the universal laws are and the Akashic records and all the angels and all that stuff. That's at the 5th dimension. But we're human beings. We have a physical body, and we take practical, grounded action steps in order to move forward. The universe reacts to what we do by reading the frequency, the energy underneath what we do. You are not going to happy thought think your way to 10K, 20K months or beyond. You cannot think something into form. You have to do something. You have to do your target energy. If you want to create the money you say you want to create 3 months from now, you need to start making new choices that vibrate at that frequency. Now, there are a few kind of shortcuts, hacks, if you like, of how I can help you simplify this, because it can be, I'm not going to lie, it can be a bit overwhelming for people. So first of all, it's likely, at least I would hope, that there are things that you're doing already. So when you think about a day in the life of, a week in the life of Facebook users, when you think about that, the likelihood is that you can identify some things that you're already doing that match that energy. They feel like that energy already. You're doing these things and you recognize they feel like bliss. They feel like enrichment. They feel like, what else did we have? Vibrational. They feel exciting. So you're going to be able to identify things that you're already doing, and you can obviously do more of those. You can spend more time doing those things that already vibrate at that frequency. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing that you can do is that and this is probably going to be one of the most powerful things out of the options I'm going to give you. New things that you've got a fairly good idea are going to vibrate at that frequency. Oftentimes, people will come to these calls with me and we'll be exploring this, and they'll say things to me like, oh, I've been thinking about doing that for ages, or I've been thinking about doing that and I just haven't gotten around to it, and when I've got the time or when I've got the money or like whatever, I'll go and do that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to make me feel that way. That's why your soul has been communicating to you to do it. So do it. anything that you think is going to vibrate at that frequency that you haven't done before or you haven't done for ages, get it in the calendar. Okay, commit. Smallest version of, only has to be the smallest version of. Okay, and then the other way is to, once you've identified your target energy, think about the things that you do that definitely don't feel like that target energy. In fact, they feel like the opposite. They feel so far away from bliss or enrichment or excitement that it really is time for them to go. And that's the point. Anything that you're doing that is opposite to what you say you want is a mismatch, is a vibrational mismatch. And the reason, or certainly a contributing reason as to why you haven't got that money yet. So the ones to look out for, our good old friends: obligation, sacrifice, resentment, and guilt. I'll say those again for anybody who's new to my work. Obligation, sacrifice, resentment, and guilt. You do not want them at your party. And they are definitely going to be at the opposite ends of a spectrum of any of these target energies. And they are not a vibrational match for money. They are completely the opposite. And these are the things, anytime you're spent doing any of those energies, these are things you need to start stopping doing. You need to move these obligations and sacrifices out of your spectrum. You really, really do. Because they're the things that are going to be keeping you where you are and cancelling out any of the good stuff that you're actually doing. Okay, so do more of the things that feel like your target energy already. Do new things that you think are going to probably feel close to the target energy. Eradicate from your life the things that definitely don't feel like that target energy. And none of this is going to happen overnight, lovelies. That's why I say 3 to 5 months. 3 to 5 months to ground this in. If you try and do it all at once, you're going to go into overstretch, and that's misaligned, and you're going to crash. So baby steps if necessary. Remember, you're already going to be doing step 1, which is going to give you a big bang for your buck. You can all download the I'm Getting Richer 30-day evidence diary that will help you track your evidence so that you can become a master at this. And it will really keep you on track in terms of what choices you're making and what consequences you're creating. And honestly, if you follow that process, after about 10 days, you'll be able to join the dots of something that you created and know exactly what choice you made and when you made it that created that. And that is so empowering. I can't even tell you. I can't tell you how empowering that is when you realize that it was all you collaborating with your soul and the universe. Okay. Right. We're done. 20 past 6. That is your 5 steps to extraordinary money alignment. I hope you enjoyed it. It's very difficult to gauge when I've only got a list of words. Do mention in the comments any questions that you might have, any feedback you might want, and I'll get to that as soon as I can. Other than that, Jen, have we got anything else? Have I missed anything?
No, just to ask, just share where people can get in touch with you. The best way that people can get in touch with you. I've got your website going across the bottom of the screen for people who are somewhere else on, somewhere else on the internet. But
Okay, yeah, that's the website. You can the quickest way you're going to get hold of me is on Facebook Messenger. So just shoot me a DM there, or send me a friend request so that we connect. The money alignment assessment is available if anybody wants to go and take that and get my direct feedback on your actual personal current circumstances. I can give you some I can give you some powerful next steps in terms of where you're going to get a big bang for your buck there. Those things, they light up like a Christmas tree for me. So you can do that. But essentially, I'm fairly easy to find when you know where I am. You can find me in the Preeminence Rising chat. Make sure you tag me and I'll come over and have a look at what you're doing. Send me a direct message if you prefer. And that really is about it. I mean, I'm in the magazine every month and have been forever.
Yeah, I just want to mention that actually, that that was absolutely epic, but by the way, as always, and that Karen's wisdom is in every single edition of Preeminence magazine. And as we've got everybody's attention, like, what's the best freaking group on Facebook? Like, come on.
It's the only one I'm in.
Come on, get it in the chat. Where else do you get this depth of value, of wisdom, of sharing? You don't seem to get any emails anymore. You better resubscribe then.
Yeah, is that, do you mean from me, Helen, or do you mean from Preeminence? If you're talking about me, love, if you download the evidence diary, you'll be straight on my mailing list. Okay.
Yeah.
So anybody that downloads that will be straight.
I will share the evidence diary and the thank you. So, Dawn, would you like to?
Yes. Well, Karen, absolute epic is the word. Phenomenal steps and so clear. I think, as you said at the very beginning, to preface your session, many people are aware of energy work and the law of attraction and all of those things, but there are nuances and there are tweaks and adjustments and little things that can be missing. And I think you've given everybody, myself included, I really enjoyed that, things that we can be doing to just dial up our money vibration, our level of responsibility, and stepping into power, because I can tell everybody here that what's coming tomorrow, you're absolutely going to be needing to do this work very thoroughly and rigorously.
Absolutely. Actually, I want to add something to that. What Dawn's going to be sharing with everybody tomorrow is an opportunity for you to open a channel of wealth and abundance, but you're going to get the biggest results from it and the biggest bang for your buck when you take care of your own alignment. That's why I'm in the middle of the three, because when you open up these channels, when you move that needle of alignment and the universe says yes, it will say yes through every channel that you have opened and primed. And so you want to make sure that you're kind of clued in and you're doing this alignment work, that you're understanding the powerful creator that you are, that you're tracking your evidence and mastering your processes, because the universe will then, if you jump in with Dawn, me and Jenny after tomorrow and go further on this journey with us, you are going to be opening a channel and the universe is going to be able to pour wealth and abundance through that as a result. But it starts with you. You have to choose it. And choosing it begins at home. It begins here with your own alignment. And these 5 steps are going to really move that needle quite quickly.
Yeah. So that is why every single step of this event, every single one of the 3 stages is absolutely essential for the whole to work, and why we are so thrilled to be able to offer you this complete container of priming you to get paid to be the change, for you to know what to do, how to do that with your money, and then be prepared to have your socks blown off, as as Karen mentioned, and as I know that Dawn's going to do tomorrow, in order to do this really, really exciting thing that that we are here to share with you. So that is why all our 3 topics, our 3 angles, our three skills have all come together. For those who are new in the group, and I know there's been quite a lot of new people in the last 2 weeks. Preeminence Rising is for my beautiful subscribers of the magazine. It's not just a magazine; it's a community. What we are doing, as Dawn mentioned in the beginning, is we are doing this together with collaboration, all sorts of collaboration. There are all sorts of ways that you can get involved with this, all sorts of ways. So please subscribe to the magazine if you're not already, so that you have this incredible tool landing in your inbox every single month, and that you understand the 9 graces of preeminence, and that you can use them to create your absolutely most amazing, iconic life as a change maker. That is the work that we are doing. I would love to ask you, if you've enjoyed this, if you found value in this, and who wouldn't, is please invite 3 friends, invite 3 people that you want to share the love with. Like, pay it forward and invite your friends over here. You have seen and witnessed this is like no other community out there. It is like no other community out there. We are here. Everyone in my community, both my executive contributors, my guild members, the group, my experts, that my community is there to hold the space for you to create your highest life using the most leading edge tools, wisdom, to help you leverage your genius, grace, and greatness, so we can really get paid to be the change. So thank you so much for being here today. As you're coming back tomorrow, because that's what you need to do. Helen, I hadn't realized this earlier on. I will put the announcement for tomorrow's episode in the group, and I believe that if you click on it, you can just say it's okay that Facebook shows your name. It's really nice for us to be able to just know who's there and be able to talk with you as you know, that we know our community and not just Facebook user. So I would love you to do that, so that we can have a real conversation with you. We are also going to jump right into the group right now and just interact with you in the thread. So thank you so much for being part of this. You are part of the movement, ladies. All of you who've attended. You know, we couldn't do it without you. So we are all doing this together. So thank you so much. We are equally excited. I do think from the 3 to 5 month timeline, I'm just counting up. I think it is going to be time, 3 to 5 months, to do the sequel to this event with how it transpires, because I know it's going to be exciting. We've actually now dropped something into the Ripple. And also, what would be awesome is that everybody who identified their target energy today in Karen's fabulous masterclass, is that they're in 3 to 5 months' time. When I drop that date, and I'm going to have a look, is that you can share with us how close, how you did that phenomenal thing that you experienced tonight. So that's going to be really exciting. So thank you, my darlings, and we love you. And we're going to we'll see you again tomorrow. So bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
See you in the group.
Yes, see you tomorrow as well.
Yeah.